Hello, friends. Mothers and children are often said to have an invisible connection, which science cannot explain. And motherly love is considered to be unconditional. Some people might probably say that it's a myth. But be that as it may, our story today is the best proof of this theory, which, trust me, is true. Kate and David Ogg were a young couple who lived in complete harmony and understanding. A few months after they met, they realized that they were simply made for each other and had a small but beautiful wedding. Married life was great, and the couple enjoyed every single day they spent together. The only problem overshadowing their family happiness was their inability to get pregnant. Nonetheless, Kate and David didn't lose hope and believed that a miracle would happen soon. One day, I noticed there was something wrong with my body. My eating habits changed, and I wanted to sleep all the time. So I suspected that I might be pregnant. But in order not to give my husband false hope, I decided to take a test on my own. That evening, I couldn't believe my eyes, but the test was positive, Kate recalled. So when David got home from work that night, Kate surprised him with the amazing news right at the door. The man was on cloud 9, but then there was more. The couple went to their first ultrasound soon, and the doctors told them that they were having twins. From then on, it all went as usual. The couple was looking forward to meeting their babies. The pregnancy was going well. David surrounded his beloved wife with care, and they were getting ready for the birth of their little ones. Life seemed great at the time, but things went downhill quickly. When Kate was 27 weeks pregnant, she started getting contractions. Fortunately, I was at home with my wife at the time, so without wasting a minute, I quickly put her in the back seat of the car and took her to the hospital. The doctors tried to stop the contractions, but they couldn't, David said later. And a few hours later, 2 beautiful children were born, a boy and a girl. Of course, the babies were weak and tiny, so they were taken to the intensive care unit immediately after birth. The girl, Emmy, turned out to be completely healthy, but the boy, Jamie, wasn't. The doctors tried to resuscitate him. They fought with all their might for their baby's life, but their efforts were in vain. After half an hour of resuscitation, the doctors called the time of death. The doctors came into Kate's room and sat down on the edge of the bed, where Kate was waiting for the news about her children. The woman was extremely worried because she understood completely well that children born at this stage are weak and may not survive. The doctor asked us if we had chosen a name for our boy. I told him that his name was Jamie. Then he wiped his forehead and said the worst thing I had to hear in my entire life. Unfortunately, Jamie didn't make it. We did everything we could, but medicine is powerless here. Please accept our condolences, the doctor said. David was standing next to the doctor at the time, collapsed on the bed in tears, and Kate seemed to be unable to accept the news at all. She kept saying, "No, that can't be true." But the doctors were 100% sure. Kate was panicking and kept saying, "Let me hold my son. Show me my son." It went on for several minutes. Other doctors heard Kate screaming and came in running, trying to help her calm down, but the mother was hysterical and couldn't believe what had happened. The doctors had no choice but to allow the desperate woman to hold her child. I remember picking up the baby. Jamie was so cold and he couldn't breathe, and I just wanted to keep him warm. We waited so long for him, and I just couldn't understand why he would leave us so soon. Then I got another crazy idea. I told my husband to take off his t-shirt and lie down next to me on the bed. The staff saw it as the agony of the mother who had just lost her child. Even David was taken aback, but he did what I asked. The baby laid between us, not breathing, said Kate. We decided to warm our baby with our warmth. We were trying to entice him to stay. We explained his name and that he had a twin to look out for, and how hard we tried to have him. We told him how much we loved him, and we just talked to him. Honestly, it was all as if in a fog. I just talked and talked, and the doctors just stood there with their heads down. My husband supported me, although he understood that it was too late. That's what everyone thought, but not me, Kate said later. It seemed that in a few minutes the doctors would take him away. But literally a moment later, something happened that no one expected. Little Jamie took a barely noticeable breath, and a few more minutes later, he began to breathe and grabbed David's finger. The doctors who had pronounced the boy's death were stunned. They couldn't believe that the baby came back to life after cuddling with his parents. The doctors said that it was simply impossible. They couldn't explain how and why the baby began to breathe. Jamie literally came back to life in front of them. The doctors said that they had never seen such a miracle, adding that it probably could not have happened without the mother's love and hope, and her refusal to accept the terrible news. I'm sure that if Kate hadn't demanded to hold Jamie then, he would never have survived. And no matter how strange it may sound now, he heard our prayers and did not leave us, David said later. Twins born at 27 weeks quickly gained weight, and soon they got strong enough to be discharged. It's been 5 years since that day, and the kids are doing well. Not long ago, the Ogg family got even bigger. The twins now have a younger brother, Charlie. The doctors did all they could for Jamie. They worked on him for over half an hour, but it was his mother's prayer and cuddle that brought him back to life. This is a truly unique story. As the parents and the medical staff of this hospital say, the story of this family is a perfect example, proving that parental love is the most mysterious and still inexplicable feeling in the world. It is so mysterious that not everyone can understand its meaning and its essence. This love has no boundaries and is so strong and powerful that sometimes it works wonders. So friends, what do you think? Is there really something that can bring us back from the other side? Something that science can't explain? Tell us what you think in the comments. That's it for today. Rate our video if you liked it, and see you soon. Bye.